Welcome back to the homestead. I waited till it's right about 8 o'clock and I waited for it to cool down just a hair before I came out to do this. The heat's just been killing me. I got some real bad heat exhaustion maybe a year or two ago and got real sick from it. I don't think it was heat stroke, but heat exhaustion for sure. And it made me real sick. And ever since then, they say that it's the same way with cold weather injuries, such as hypothermia, frostbite, whatever. It's the same with, it's similar to that, where you're more susceptible after you've had that issue, once previously. So ever since then, I've had to kind of watch myself in the heat. I get really just sick from it and have a lot of body cramps and whatever else. But anyways, I came home today. I've been working out a lot in this heat and it's kind of kicking my butt. And so today I decided I'm going to come home, do some things inside, and come out now when the sun's going down a little bit and it's cooled off. But we're going to take a little orchard tour. It is July 3rd, so it is the day before Independence Day. And I know most people refer to it, sorry, I had to shut the gate. Most people refer to it as the 4th of July. And I get that, it is the 4th of July, but the holiday is Independence Day. So I try really hard to call it that. So happy Independence Day. I probably will wait until tomorrow on Independence Day to post this or to upload this. So if I do get that done in time and all that, and it uploads tomorrow, happy Independence Day. Probably my, I'll say, third favorite holiday. We'll stick with that. Anyway, we're going to take a little trip around the orchard here. Now, I kind of missed, I had 2 peach trees that did really, really well. And I kind of missed my window of doing a good video when they were ripe and in season. So that kind of stinks. But I do have some peach trees that have fruit on them. They're not doing super great. I'll just show you, tell me what you guys think. And I do have apples that are doing pretty well, and I have pears that are doing really well this year. So if you haven't seen my other orchard videos, go back and check those out if you would. It may be able to explain some of the things that I may not specifically point out in this video. So I have lost several trees in the past couple years, and so a lot of these trees are just either 1 or 2 years old. They're not producing. I'm really concentrating on just letting the roots get developed and working on the frame or the main, the trunk and the scaffold branches and all that kind of stuff. I'm working on setting myself up good in the future. So hopefully have a little bit better success. These older trees that I have in here that I've been producing, some of them have been in here for probably at least 10 years. And I didn't know what I was doing then. I would do things much different now. And so some of these, the varieties aren't very desirable. They don't do well here, or different reasons like that. So, I'm learning. I'm always learning. And, you got to take it like it comes, right? I've made a lot of mistakes in here, and some stuff I've just torn out and restarted. Some stuff Mother Nature's taken out, whether it be windstorm, ice storm, drought, whatever, and I start over then. Some things I just work with what I got, But let's take a little walk around here. This little area here, I think, is 48 trees. It's apple, peach, pear, cherry, and plum. And then in between the trees, I've got fruiting shrubs and different perennial edibles. Everything is perennial in here, meaning that it comes back year to year after year after year without having to replant stuff. And I have found that that is the way to go. We're just gonna walk around here and see what we got going on. Let me turn you around. So if you can hear in the background, over to the left of us here, behind the shop, is our guard goose. And he's just gonna squawk. That's what he does. So we're just gonna let him squawk. Hopefully he'll be quiet. This is the best cat on the planet. She's a barn cat, and she catches rodents, and she kind of does her own thing, as you can see. She's not fazed by much. We've had her for about 9 years, and she's kind of self-sufficient, which is really cool. So my rows are kind of broken up so I can still get a mower in between here. I mow this orchard about once a month, and that's it. I try not to mow it too much because I don't want to waste my time and waste, fuel, and like I talked about earlier, about my body's just kind of, not doing as good as it used to in this heat. But these smaller trees here and there, one over there, there's several. About a third of these trees are quite new. So again, this tree here, this is about 5 foot tall. It's kind of hard to tell in these videos, but it's about 5 foot, and I have not done anything to this. This is from Stark Brothers Nursery. All I did was plant it this spring, and we're just gonna let it grow this first year, and then early spring, we'll kind of see how we want to prune it and go from there. So that's that little tiny row, I'll say there. Here's another one. I like to add in, like, these are just irises. It's just something to look at, right? It doesn't have to be just fruit trees. You can have flowers, you can have vegetables, you can have other fruit. That's a cherry shrub. So I don't know, I've never grown one. We'll see what happens. Here we've got raspberries. We're already turning brown down here, if you can see, and I think that's just from the heat. So we need to get the irrigation turned on out here, I guess. This is boysenberry. The downfall of this is it spreads out. These are all runners. It doesn't grow up like a raspberry or blackberry. It grows on runners. So it's best to trellis this, but I don't have that, so not here anyway, so we're just rolling with that. This is goji berry. I think these berries taste like crap, but they're supposedly healthy for you, and I guess if you put them into a smoothie or something, they wouldn't be terrible. You probably wouldn't even taste them. Here's one of the peach trees. You can see, obviously this isn't the whole tree. Most of it had broken off. This had 4 main branches at the bottom, and it's broken off. And you can see it does have some kind of nasty looking bark on there. We're probably pretty diseased. You can see some goo that's kind of, you can see some goo coming out of there. Honestly, this tree, like I said, you can see where the other 2 main branches were. So this tree was pruned into a vase shape or open center shape. It's been damaged I think that was ice storm, but you can see how, you know, it's pretty ugly. So with the damage there on the bark and to the main trunk, this may get replaced next year. I don't know. There's another peach over there. On the other side of that one, it had a lot of damage as well. But from this side, it looks pretty decent. This cat is just following me all over. I can't even believe she's rubbing on the back of my legs as I walk. I can feel it. Now, we've got some pretty bad fruit on here. Some of these aren't bad. I don't spray anything on these trees. That might be hard to see with the sun. Let me get you over here. I don't spray anything on these trees. So it's not like I'm getting a ton of fruit off of these. And I'm not even really opposed to spraying, depending on what product it is, but I just don't know what I'm doing when it comes to that, and so I don't want to just wing it, you know, and damage something or, you know, whatever. So that's just, I just didn't do anything. You can see some apples here. This cat, I cannot believe, she's kind of a loner. She does her own thing and she will not leave me alone tonight. That is so weird. She's rubbing all over my legs for some reason. She must feel guilty about something. You can see between these trees here, this is some of that stuff down there didn't do as you know, not as good. Some of the stuff I planted have been kind of trial and error, and I'm just seeing what works and what doesn't. This is an elderberry. I've got some sage there. There's rosemary there. This thing got off to a slow start, but I think it's going to be okay. I planted that kind of late, in late spring, early summer. There's another goji berry under this pear tree, and you can just see this pear tree's looking pretty good. We've talked in the other video about this rust, and that's all the worse it got so far anyway this year. I think it would be, if it was gonna be worse, it would already be worse than this. So I think this is probably the worst of it, hopefully. Walk through here, you can see some of these probably need to be thinned, some of them small ones. There's a bunch right there, my goodness. But they're looking pretty darn good. They're still really hard. I'll tell you what, let me bite into one. Oh yeah. Whew. Yep, that thing is hard as a rock. But the inside's nice and white, nice and clean, looking good. There's another one. Some of these don't look great. I'm not sure if that's some kind of scab. Maybe just a pollination problem there. I'm not 100% sure. Some of these may just need to be pulled off of there. More elderberry. This is a different variety of pear. This one this is the first year this one's produced. And you can see some of these are already kind of changing colors. I wonder if that's, oh, that's a lot softer than the other one, so we'll see. We will see. I've got little things started here. These little patches there are garlic chives. And as they flower, I will just let them do their thing and they will go to seed. And eventually this whole area around there will be full of garlic chives. It's a good herb to have, to cook with. And it also, I don't know how well it works, but the pros say that having something like this with that scent can sometimes disrupt, the insects, their smell, or, them coming to try to infect this tree or its fruit. So I say, why not, right? I mean, I'll never use that much. I've got these garlic chives all over, and up on the shop, near the shop, I've got a whole bunch. That's why I know that it spreads like crazy if you let it go to seed. That's where all these come from. They're all throughout the orchard. So if you see more of those, that's what that is. Now this peach tree is been here for, I've got two of them that are about this size. Let me try to back up. And they've been here for quite some time. It's gonna be hard to see, I guess. But they get loaded with peaches every year, but the peaches stay real small. And they will ripen up, and they're really good peaches, but they're, the size of a golf ball or so. So, it's kind of hard to make it worth to eat. So I'm not really sure. Maybe just a bad variety for here in Oklahoma. I don't know. Man, this cat is showing off or something. Also, in other videos, I've talked about this. This is a branch that I'm trying to train downward and fill in this gap on this side of the tree. So I've got that coming down, and I've just got it tied down to this log, and it's doing the trick. These are some new things I've been planting, some nitrogen fixing plants. This is a new peach tree that came quite late, and it didn't do anything. So that was a little disappointing, but Stark Brothers has a 1-year guarantee, so I'll just warranty it and get a new one. This is an apple. I'm not seeing any fruit on this one. Nope, I'm not seeing anything on there. Continue down this row here. This is a new tree, I'm just letting it grow, see what it does. Still got some blackberries here. That's a little overripe, but look at those dudes. That's pretty good. It doesn't beat that. Nothing beats that. This is the other peach that I was saying has been here for a long time, and the peaches just don't put any size on for some reason. I'm not really sure. Both of these trees are new this year. This is a plum, and it did have some plums on it early, and I'm not seeing any. So they either didn't pollinate all the way and fell off, or the birds got them, something. Another peach there. I know I've said this several times in different videos, but in case this is the first one you're seeing, I do plasticulture. So it's just plastic down on the ground. What I usually do is take layers of cardboard, line the ground, and then I do the plastic on top. And then I just find these, most of these are cedar, well, some of these are cedar logs, and I just lay them on there to hold the plastic down and hold the wood chips in. And then in this row, I've got drip irrigation. The other rows will have drip irrigation, but I just haven't done it yet. That's a cherry tree. I'm finding that the raspberries and blackberries, goji berry, elderberry, they do really well here in Oklahoma. I'm in central Oklahoma. They do really well. I've planted a lot of other fruits, fruiting shrubs, and have not had a ton of success. But I don't know. I just like trying to grow different things, see what works and what doesn't. There's more elderberry here. So that's got fruit set on it. It's not ready till they turn purple. This apple here has got a couple of apples on it. There's a couple there, and there's some up there. Hard to see. I still haven't got these branches from my pruning. I still haven't got them out of here. They were laying out here in this open aisle, but I want to get my plasticulture and mulch down soon. And I was sick of moving these every time I mowed them. So all this is just branches that need to be mulched up is all. This apple tree in there, I see one apple in there, and it looks like a beauty. From here, it looks like a really nice apple. One thing I'm just now seeing that's not good is up here I've got, it looks like webworm or tent caterpillar, that people call them different things. So that I will probably need to spray that. More branches I need to mulch up. This apple's got a few apples on it. It's like at the very end of these branches, they've got apples just hanging down. It looks like a Charlie Brown tree. Cat's still following me around. There's a nice rosemary shrub there. Our second to the youngest, she doesn't like that. She feels like she has thin hair, and so she's found this home herbal remedy type thing, I guess, is supposed to thicken your hair. And I haven't seen her make it, but it's basically boiling the oils out of rosemary, and I think maybe mixing it with some oil, like either, I don't know if it's castor oil or olive oil, and then she makes a kind of a tonic, I guess you'd call it, and she lets it soak on her hair, and she actually thinks it's helping. So it's helping her hair grow, and she feels like it's getting a little thicker. So anyways, I thought that was super cool that she was interested in trying some home remedy stuff. I love that. Some of this stuff's already looking bad. This boysenberry, and that's got that little bit of a trellis there, and that thing is just looking terrible. It will come back, but man, the heat's just really, it was here early this year, earlier than normal, and I don't see it going away, and it's going to be a rough summer. I mean, it's going to be rough. Now, I had run out of space out here in this area, which is my kind of designated orchard area, so I actually did put a couple of things on this other side, on this maybe a little hard to tell, but this is a dry creek bed. When it rains enough, there's kind of a pond back behind me, and then there's a pond out there in the pasture in front of us, way out there. And this is kind of a go-between. When the small pond behind fills up, the water runs down through this dry creek bed into that bigger pond. So on the other side of this terrace, or other side of this creek bed, and going up onto the bank of this terrace, I've got a couple other plants that I'm trying to squeeze in. There's another apple that's brand new this year, so obviously it's tiny. We've got some grapes up on that fence. I've already got one thing there that thing's dead. I'll have to look at the tag. I can't even tell what that is from here. Some more grapes. If you hear a little bit of a buzz sound, Chief has got the drone up, and I asked her to, well, that's out of focus, sorry. But I asked her to get the drone up and take some photo and video from above, so I can kind of show you an aerial video of the shape of this orchard, how it looks from above. I would probably, there's one thing I'd really like to point out. It might be kind of hard. You know, one thing I've realized in watching YouTube videos and making YouTube videos is depth perception and elevation and different things like that is really, really difficult to tell from video. So I'm gonna do the best I can, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squat down over here and show as close to the ground as I can. But up here where the gravel drive is quite a bit higher ground. It's probably a, oh gosh, 6 foot or more elevation change from up here to this dry creek bed. I know it doesn't look like that on video, but it is. So ideally what I would have done here in the very beginning is put in like swales. So on the downward side of each row here, it would have been nice to have a little bit of a terrace or a swale, and I would do that on each row here, you know, here, and then further back there. You can't really tell, but there's 3 main rows on this orchard, and ideally I would have put a terrace at each one, or a swale. I don't know all the technical terms, but basically it's a small berm that would hold water runoff. So rather than all this water, now I will say the logs kind of help. The logs and the wood chips, it does help. But to have something where water can actually run into and actually set in for, you know, a day or two till it dries up, or maybe even a week if it rains a lot, that would be ideal. That would be super great. If you have perfectly flat ground, you know, that's not something you probably have to worry about. But if you have any elevation change, that would be ideal, is to put a swale or a, like I said, I don't know all the terms. I'm not trying to, this isn't like a DIY video. This is showing you what I'm doing. And if you can maybe you just enjoy the video, I don't know. But maybe you're wanting to plant an orchard and you can get even just one little tip from me, I would be thrilled. Especially if you're here in Oklahoma, specifically Central Oklahoma. I just feel like sharing information with people, especially in your area, what works, what doesn't work, things like that, you know, kind of everybody wins from that. So I just think it's fun to me. I like learning that way, and I hope you do too. But anyway, we got Chief flying ahead here. Well, she flew off. But anyway, I hope that these videos aren't too boring for you, and I hope that you enjoy, or maybe even learn a few things off of what I've done or what I would do different, or you know, or what I wouldn't do, stuff like that. But we're gonna cut this video, and I've got sprinklers to move yet, and about to call it a night. So again, tomorrow is Independence Day. Don't take this holiday lightly. Man, what an amazing thing that happened all those years ago. And because of that, we're able to live the way we do. I'm able to grow my own food and my own meats and my own orchard, and live probably the freest nation in the world. So I don't take that lightly, and neither should you. So enjoy it, barbecue, pop fireworks, crack a cold one, do whatever you do to celebrate, because it is a holiday worthy of celebration. So we'll catch you guys on the next video. Appreciate you watching.